Okay, go.
Welcome to Story Time. It's so good to see you. Today I'm going to read you a story that I wrote called Dust Flowers. And I've got my good friend Molly with me, and she is a character in the book, and she loves it when I read about her. So I'm going to have her sit right here on my lap, and I'm going to read the story to you. It's called Dust Flowers, and it was the very first book that I wrote. So tell me again about the endless fields of wheat, Granny, I plead, and about the way Mama's eyes used to dance when she laughed. Tell me about the way things used to be. All right, Molly, Granny says, pulling me close. When you were born, your papa and granddad were the envy of the whole county. They had the biggest and best wheat crop in the entire state of Oklahoma. We used to proudly watch our menfolk work in the wheat fields that rippled like a great golden ocean all around us. Your mama would bring you outside to show you the beauty of God's earth and the great bounty we were blessed with. Are you crying, Granny? I ask, even though I know she is. She always cries when she tells me this story. No, child, she says, hugging me close. It's just dust in my eyes, that's all. What about Mama's flowers? I ask eagerly. Tell me about the flowers. Granny chuckles. Your Mama's flowers were a sight to see. She always loved her bright, colorful blooms. Do you see that old windmill? Once it was covered by the delicate pink and white roses that climbed nearly to the top. And over there were golden nasturtiums and blue forget-me-nots, scarlet poppies and stately hollyhocks. This very porch was once covered with the meandering vines of her deep blue morning glories. If I close my eyes, I can almost smell them. I look around at the yard, trying to envision this beautiful garden, but I can't see past the piles of drifting dust. The bare ground is bleached white, like old bones. What happened to the flowers, I ask, although I already know the answer. The rain stopped falling and the dust storms came, Granny said with a heavy sigh. Too much of the land was worked up. The grasslands disappeared, and there was nothing to hold the soil in place when the rains dried up. I remember the first dust storm. An angry cloud, blacker than night, came boiling over the horizon. It churned and rolled like a live beast, devouring everything green in its path. It turned the day instantly into night. I shudder. Mama could have kept her flowers watered like we do the vegetable garden, I say. She could have, Granny says with a sad smile. But since the well dried up a few years back, water is a very precious thing. Your papa and brother have to haul all the water we need from far away. The horses and cows need water, the vegetables need water, we need water to drink and water to do the washing. There's not a drop to spare. I slide off Granny's soft lap and hang over the porch railing. But Mama loved her flowers, I protest. They used to make her laugh. Now she works too hard. I feel a tear sliding down my chapped face. It isn't fair. Mama's face is always so sad. She rarely smiles, and I don't know when I last heard her laugh. Drought won't last forever, child, Granny says softly. I shrug, not believing her. I glare scornfully at the dust below the porch. A small sprig of green makes me gasp. Granny, I whisper fiercely, look! Granny's faded calico dress rustles as she leans over the railing next to me. Well, I'll be, she says, smiling down at me. It's a morning glory. Really? I ask hopefully. Looks a little droopy, Granny says, her voice full of concern. I could get it a little drink of water, I say softly. It's wash day. I could take a tiny cup of rinse water. Mama wouldn't even miss it. Granny's face wrinkles into a smile. You could watch over the plant until it blooms. It would be a wonderful surprise for your mama. I'll get the water, I say, breathless with our new secret. And every day, Granny and I tend to the little plant and watch it grow stronger and stronger. Delicate green tendrils wrap around the gray boards of the porch as the shoots stubbornly climb upward. Mama is too busy scrubbing, trying to win her war against the dust, so she never has time to relax on the back porch. Our secret flourishes as I wait anxiously for the flowers. And one day, it happens. Please, Mama, I beg, tugging on her hand. The sweeping can wait. I have something to show you. Mama says she's too busy, but I drag her along as best I can. What's this all about? She protests as we round the house. I've got work to do. Mama stops and her hand flies to her mouth. Granny is sitting in her rocker on the porch. The bright green vines and the blue flowers splash the gray railings around her with vivid color. Oh my. Mama gasps, her eyes welling up with tears. They're beautiful. Her face almost glows with her pleasure. A tiny smile plays at the corner of her mouth. I wait, holding my breath. You wonderful child, Mama says with a giggle. She holds her arms out to me and I fly into them. She swings me around and laughs out loud. Together we bury our faces in the fragrant blooms. Mama's eyes are tightly closed as she inhales their sweetness. Another dust storm's coming, Granny says quietly, nodding her head towards the west. Mama and I hold hands and watch the dark clouds race towards us. She smiles down at me. Let it come, she says, squeezing my hand. I strain my ears and listen for the blowing sand and howling wind, but hear a different sound, a thrilling sound, the rumble of thunder. Yes, I say, let it come. So the dust bowl is over and it's going to start to rain. So thank you for listening and I'll be back later. I miss you.